Hi, this is Kim with Mom's Creative Moments, and I'm here today to share with you a quick, easy way to do a really nice page using one of our punches to make a frame to go all the way around the outside of the page, and also to make a border to complement the next page, so that you have a nice two-page spread that works together well. So right now I'm going to go ahead and use or move a couple things out of the way here. If you're familiar with our new collection that just came out for our weddings, it has some really beautiful papers and embellishments that go along with it. I have a nephew getting married soon, and his the colors they're using for their wedding, I have a navy blue and a peachy orangey kind of color in them. So I'm going to use this piece is out of the new Devotion collection, and it has, you know, this floral on the back, but I like this page because I'm going to actually cut my frame so that it is done in this color. All right, so we're going to take this piece of designer paper. That's the weight that you want. Don't do this with cardstock. It will not work because it is too heavy and it will jam up your punch something fierce. So just don't do it. Use a designer weight paper. You're going to fold the corners together just like so and make this fold as crisp as possible because you want these edges to stay nice and neatly together. Then you're going to take this corner of your paper and you're going to fold it back towards this corner. You're not going to crease the whole thing though. Just put this corner into that corner, and then you're going to bring it together just enough to make just a tiny little fold right here on the edge. You're going to do the same thing on the other side. So corner to corner, edge to edge, and you're just barely creasing, just about a ½ inch right there. All right, then you're going to take a fine point pen or pencil and just put a mark right there along the edge. It's going to punch off, so you're not going to see it, but we do need to be able to know where it is. All right, now when you take your punch, you're going to flip it over so it's upside down and you can see into the design. You're going to take your paper and slip it in on the open edge so that you can see the dot right in the very center. So this particular punch design has a point at the very center. You see that? So you're just going to line your dot up with that point and be really careful to keep it there because your paper will want to shift. All right. So if you just squeeze your punch down enough to hold on to the paper, you can flip it right over and then punch down. Just take a little bit of insistence for you to punch that down. All right. So here's our first punch, roughly in the center of that page. Now we're going to complete punching this edge by lining our design up so it covers the blue on the wing right here on this side, and make sure it's all the way up towards the bumper on your punch right here. Then we're going to continue punching towards the fold and keep sliding it over and punch one more time to get the fold completely. All right. Now we're going to turn our paper and do the same thing on the other side. We're going to get this part in just a minute. So I did not do that, but I did not do that on purpose. So we're going to line this up again. Dot right in the center, right at that point, and push all the way to the back. Okay, I'm going to flip that over very carefully, set it down. Make sure my paper is at the back. There we go. And we're going to punch and slide. Punch and slide one more time. And punch. All right. Now we're going to take our paper and we're going to open it up. And we're going to fold it this direction. You want to make sure your designs line up on both sides. Which mine is having a slight issue lining up exactly. So I just kind of split the difference and try to make it as even as I can. All right, now I'm going to take my punch and line up my design as evenly as I can on the side, pushed all the way to the back of the bumper. Continue to slide. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Depending on where you choose to line up that dot, sometimes you can avoid having any overlap at all, which is really awesome. But with some punches, there is just a tiny bit that doesn't quite line up exactly, but that's okay. It still works. Let me show you. We open our paper just like so, and we have an even punch all the way around to make a really nice frame. Now we're going to use, normally when I'm doing a page like this, I wouldn't necessarily put a backing on it, but because I'm going to be giving this to my nephew and his fiance so that they can arrange their album however they want, just giving them some previously done layouts. I want it to have some substance on the back, not just be blank. So, and also I am just removing just a couple of tiny little pieces that didn't quite punch away over here on the side. I think that's the only spot. Yep. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and secure this down here, but before we do that, I have something special I want to do. So let me get rid of all of our little punch confetti here. Get that in the garbage so I don't scoot it right up onto my floor. We're going to use our trimmer very quickly, and we're going to make 4 mats to go in this center square. Now, this center square is going to be roughly, let's see, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's about 9¼ inches wide. So I can make a 4.5 by 4.5. I can make 4 4.5 by 4.5 inch squares. All right, so let me see here. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. Okay, so we're gonna go with 4.5 by 4.5. And let's see if this is gonna be big enough. Yes, it is. It's also 4.5. So lucky for me, my piece of paper that I'm using is just the right size. So we're going to go ahead and cut this one at 4.5. As I turned it sideways there. I just stacked my papers so that I don't have to make as many cuts. And we're going to make this a 4.5. All right. So these will go in the center right here. And actually 4.5 might be a little bit big. We might need to trim these just a little. Well, we'll get to that in just a second. Okay, and what I also need are several 1x1 squares. I need 12 1x1 squares. I'm not sure I'm going to get it out of this one though. Oh, I might. Okay, so we're going to cut this long ways at 1 inch. Actually, I'm going to go slightly over 1 inch because I want to make sure that my seams aren't showing. So I'm going to do 1. It's almost 1 1/8. Let's just do 1 1/8. That just makes it nice and easy. All right. Okay, and we're going to stack these again and turn them. And we're going to do another 1 1/8. And 1 1/8. And come on. I have one of those days where you just feel like your fingers are getting in the way of everything. 1 1/8. This one is going to just be 1 1/8. So good. That gives us 8. And we need 12 more, which won't be a problem. Just cut those out of this piece right here. And I'm just, for the sake of ease, going to start measuring my 1 1/8 on this side so that I can just push my paper through. Save me a little bit of a step. 1 1/8. Right. Now, what we're going to do is flip our punch paper upside down. And we're going to use our repositionable adhesive just in case any of it shows through. We don't really want that. And I'm going to add adhesive around each one of these 4 diamond shapes. And then I'm going to take one of my squares and place it right on top to cover. Just like that. And then any adhesive that is still there will help me stick this page down. So I'm not worried about it. Okay, so we're going to go all the way around and just stick down these cute little squares. Weddings are so fun. Getting ready for a wedding, helping celebrate with the bride and the groom. Do you have a wedding coming up? Someone special that you, maybe the wedding's already come up and you're making something special for the wedding couple. Or maybe you're doing a anniversary album. Done a couple of those. Those are fun. This would be totally appropriate to put in any of those. And I'm just turning, so this cardstock is relatively thick cardstock, this peach color. And so as a result, when you trim it on the trimmer, you cut it on the trimmer, it kind of leaves just the slightest bit of an edge around it that kind of curls in one direction or the other. And so I like to put that edge facing down, however I'm going to be doing it. And it looks like I miscounted. How did I do that? Oh, because there's actually 16 squares. Good grief. All right. Well, never fear, I have enough cardstock. I can simply cut a few more. You probably were way ahead of me and already realized that I didn't have enough. That's okay. Get 4 more cut here real quick. Come on, scooch over there. Now we've got enough. Finished. All right, now, quick wipe down on my table. Get most of that off. All right, so now we are ready to go ahead and put this piece onto our blue, onto our navy. All right, so we're just going to I'm using my permanent adhesive around the main part of my page, and then I'm going to go ahead and just put some of the repositionable adhesive across these areas that have open edges, because if you've ever tried to put adhesive across all the little bits on something like that, you know that it is no fun. But this adhesive, this repositionable adhesive, is so great. You just run it right on over and you are good to go. And it doesn't stick to your table. And what does stick, if you do have a spot or two of it, because it's in little drops, little spots, just rubs right off. So no worries. All right, so we're going to go ahead and line this up on our cardstock. And have several little bitty tiny bits of those peach squares that are showing, but around the edge here, but I can trim those off super easily, so I'm not worried about that. Okay, we'll just smooth it out so it reaches all the edges. Nice and secure. All right, now let's check these mats that I cut before. I think they're going to be a little bit too big because I want a little bit of that brown edge all the way around. And I want to be able to see it through the center as well. So I am going to need to cut probably, cut it down by about 1/8, quarter. Let's just cut them all down to 4 1/4. And then I think we'll be good. Perfect. 4 1/4, 4 1/4. Just one, and it will be a perfect size for putting a 4 by 4 picture. I should have thought of that before I cut them the first time, but you know, I got excited. 4 1/2. That's new and different. Yeah, no, this 4 1/4 is going to be perfect. Okay, so 4 1/4. And you'll see that if you're worried about those folds showing up, putting 4 photos on this page pretty much eliminates that worry of anyone seeing those folds because they just disappear right quick. We're going to put an embellishment right in the center of this page, so I'm not worried about that either. And because it's pretty much ran out of tape runner, so we need to get another. 1 second here. There we go. Because there really isn't another option for laying out these mats, I am not going to worry about needing to give my bride some options because she's not going to want to cover up the edge of this. So I'm going to go ahead and put why is that not coming up? There we go. Go ahead and put these mats down so that they will not be moving around and shifting. So I'm just going to leave about roughly 1/8 of an inch of a edge around the outside. And down mats. I am struggling here. Give me just a second. There we go. All right, we are almost done. So you see how quickly this page has come together, despite the fact that I made a couple of cuts that I had to go and fix. This page is a relatively quick one to put together. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and grab these embellishments and we're going to put nice flower in the center. And let's see, probably like a bouquet like that maybe, or let's see, a rose with some floral behind it. Could do that. I don't know, I think I like the larger kind of bouquet best. so far. I think some of these flowers are going to be too big. Like that rose is too big to go in the middle. We don't want something super ginormous, but we might want to kind of either use a more matted leaf and a gold rose, or let's see. Do I have a more matted leaf? We could do the golden rose and the leaf bow in the middle. Or we could do this one. I think I would like that in gold. Let me see if I can find that in gold. Well, not exactly, but kind of. We could do that. So lots of options. Maybe that one. We'll go with that one. All right, so I'm going to pop that up with foam squares, but I'm only going to put actually just one foam square, or maybe two. And I'm going to use a big one right in the center, a big 1/2 inch one right here in the middle. And rather than sticking it to my embellishment where I can't see where it's going to be stuck on here, I'm going to stick it to my mat directly. And the reason is because I want there to be as much play in this, or, you know, I don't want it to be stuck down. I want my my bride and groom to be able to put their photos behind it. And if I put a lot of adhesive down on these mats, then their pictures won't fit. So if I go ahead and stick those to the background, and then put my embellishment on there where I want it, then I'm assured that they can still put their photos in underneath there and it will be fine. And it will all work. All right, so this is page number 1, and look for the next video, and it will have a corresponding border and mats for a second page, so that there can be a 2-page combination. All right, thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.